Hello everyone, I'm SteampunkMiner and welcome back to Lands of Zankar. We are over here in the flower farm. I been AFK for a little bit here and there, and somebody, some sneaky somebody, came over here and messed with a bunch of tunnels. So I ended up fixing that so I could see where I actually need to go to get to each of my different farms. They blocked off each tunnel and even switched the whole side and even hit the ladder, so I had no idea what was completely contained in a tunnel. But anyways, we take a look at what we've got so far. We've got a ton of blue orchids. We're pretty good on that for quite some time. Come over here, we've got 2 shulkers full of cornflowers, poppies, oxeye daisies, and the azure bluet. Bluet, yes. And then we've got 5 of the dandelions, so we've got plenty of dandelions. And then if we head over here, we're going to have a look at the other ones here. We've got 1 shulker full of pink, we've got 5 orange, 6 white, and not quite a red one yet. But I believe there is some red shulkers in the other flower farm, so might have to use that one just to specifically get red tulips because we get way more over there. And we're gonna have a mass excess of orange tulips. But anyways, that's about it. Yep, and also this one we got 5 of the allumiums, so that's awesome. So this is working pretty well. Just the red tulips, the only thing that seems to be lacking a little bit. So, what are we going to do today? Today, I want to work on getting the other dyes set up for this area. So I know previously I talked about working on the tunnels and things like that, but I think it would be important to get the cocoa beans, the cacti, and even this little mini squid farm here set up. So that's what I'm going to focus on. So I'm going to need to go grab a bunch of stuff, gather a bunch of materials so I can make each of these different builds. So I will catch you guys on the other side. So I've been gathering a couple of resources together so I can work on building up our cactus farm and our cocoa bean farm, because I need to get the green and the brown dye. So we're gonna go set that up, but I need something before I get over there. I need some honey blocks and I need some slime blocks. Potentially one or the other. I think either one would matter. But I'm gonna go grab some from the shop, and then I will be back out in the flower factory location to start building these 2 farms. Alright, so we're back here near the flower factory, and what I'm thinking is right here in this location we can set up our cocoa bean and cactus farm. So when we AFK for the flowers, we can also get cacti and cocoa beans at the same time. The cocoa beans are not going to be fully AFK because there's not really an easy way to replant them. The farm I'm building is rather simple, and you manually, well, it's got an auto harvest that you have to activate, but then you have to manually replant, but it's not too bad. You can get quite alrighty, so let's have a look at our new farm here. I'll just poke a hole in here, it'll be easy to see. And it goes whooshing down. But as you can see, I got a big huge room full of cacti here. I put glass panes in between every other one, basically, so that every time a cactus grows, it'll just pop off, fall into the water stream, and get washed down to the bottom, just like that random piece of stone did. So we go and take a look down here, and there it is. This is more or less what I've gotten in time that it took me to build up the farm. I did a little bit of a test previously in creative just to kind of get a design figured out, and this is the one I decided to go with. It's just a passive generation of cacti. But there we go. Question: is it cactuses or cacti? Alright, so here we go. Here's the basic concept of it. I do need to connect up some observers. I actually had a little bit of a derp moment because I have 6 slime blocks and I have 6 dark prismarine for each one of these. And I was a big derp and did not place things properly. I did an extra row on each side so it would not activate. But the idea here is, come on, back up there. So this is the concept here. We got redstone there, and then we take a button. And obviously that's an issue with this, but we'll have to fix that. The button's not gonna work. We'll just throw that out. Alrighty, so I have completed 3 modules, and I've got them all running into the same chest here, which makes it quite easy for accessing materials afterwards. I have a bunch of torches around because I don't want mobs spawning everywhere. I've seen a couple creepers running about, so I'll make sure this is secure. So I think a little bit later I'll put around I put an actual structure around this to protect it, and maybe if we even have room I might put an additional set of 3 over here as well, so we can get a decent amount of cocoa beans. We're doing alright so far. Some of these are ready. I did have to reset the system after I set up the redstone here, but it's all working pretty good. Looking awesome. So now we have access to every color dye here except for the black dye, but I can make use of the ink farm whenever I need to do that. So I think we're all good with the dye factory over here. It's complete. So now when I'm AFK over here collecting the flowers, we'll have cactus underneath working. I will have to manually come and gather these every so often, but that's okay. They grow fairly quickly. As you can see, I think even in the time that I was explaining this, the 2 of those have grown fully. So yep, this is pretty awesome. And then it's super simple. I flip the lever there, it'll activate the smashers or the punchers and break all the cocoa beans, and then I just have to manually replant them, which I can easily access from right here. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So now that we have production of all of the dyes possible now, I can actually get to work on building the actual shop that this is going to be in. And as you can see, there's a giant blob of oak trees over here, which they are for that purpose. I am actually going to be using a lot of oak wood to make this build. So I'm going to finish gathering up the rest of the materials I need for that build, and I'm going to go find a nice location in the shopping area, and we'll get started on that. Alrighty, I have found a nice location for our dye shop, and I have a whole bunch of shulkers sitting behind me here. Most of them are the stock that's going to go into the shops, but there are a couple of them that'll be for the build, so let's get into that, shall we? And there we have it. Blossom Tree is complete. I am currently cleaning up and restocking. But let's have a look, shall we? So if we head up in here, you can fly in if you have an elytra, but if you don't have an elytra, you can climb up the ladders to be able to get to the top. And once you get up to the top here, there's going to be different access points of which you can get to the different colors of dyes. So you go find one of these adorable little bees. So here's the pricing for the dyes and the flowers. So I'm doing 2 gold ingots for a stack of the blue dye, and then I'm doing 5 gold ingots for a stack of the flower. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to discourage buying the flowers to be converted into dye, because the whole purpose of having the flowers available is for those of you who want to do some fancy flower decorations around the place. So yeah, that's the reasoning for the pricing. I hope that seems fair enough. It does take quite a bit of effort to gather all these dyes, because my dye farm is not as efficient as I would like it to be, but it does get the job done, so awesome. Yep, and let's do a quick little fly around just to get a good look at this from a distance. But yeah, I think this thing looks awesome. And there we have it. We now have a dye shop in the shopping district. I know multiple people have been asking about it, and there you are, my fellow Zankarians. You can now buy dyes. Come and get it. And I will actually be putting together some sample boxes as well. And there's one more thing I want to do before I end the video. We're going to head on over to the Guardian Shores and I'll show you what I am talking about. Alright, so this is what I was thinking. For all my shops, I want to set up an inventory board, so it's quite easy to tell what's actually in each of my shops. So here's the Guardian Shore inventory board. We got the dark prismarine, regular prismarine bricks, prismarine, sea lanterns, and cooked cod. So I think that's going to be cool. Do that with nether wares over there, and also do that with Blossom Tree. And yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to help all of the other Zankarians know what is available in each of my shops. And that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you Zankarians will enjoy the new dyes, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!